But first, if you're headed to some of Mid-Michigan's longest-running summer festivals, you need to know when they are and also learn about their traditions and challenges. These are the sights and sounds of some of Mid-Michigan's most popular and longest-running summer festivals. Midland's River Days, Bay City's Pig Gig, Bavarian Festival in Frankenmuth, the Auburn Cornfest, and we'll toss in the Tall Ships Festival in Bay City for good measure. Each of the festivals have their own unique traditions that keep people coming back. But each also has its own challenges to keep them going year after year. So we'll take them one at a time, starting with the Bavarian Festival in Frankenmuth, which just wrapped up this weekend.
My dad got me involved about 15 years ago now. He was the parade chair and he was on the committee and everything, and just kind of brought me along to the meetings and started going myself. It's a very, very time-consuming, very large event. It's 4 days long, but we plan all year long for it. We put in the time every month to plan, and then just for 4 days you're in charge of overseeing parades and bands and everything that is going on in the park, volunteers, all that fun stuff. Tiny and Dorothy's Under got it started 55 years ago now, as kind of a kickoff to their part of their restaurant. They were renovating their restaurant and have decided to have some food and dancing and music and beer and have a party, and it just kind of kept rolling from there. And it's definitely been good for the German heritage of this town. It's the oldest German festival in the state of Michigan, so that definitely helps out with the heritage of this town. We have brought back the Festival Olympics. That is something that's been on and off for probably the last 30 years now or so. Local competition to compete and everything. German music, good polka dancing, chicken dinners. Those are definitely, they have nice barbecue chicken dinners down in the park. The parade is the grand finale of the festival. Yes, we bring in 100 plus units into town on Sunday afternoon. We usually see anywhere between 70 and 100,000 people throughout Frankenmuth on Parade Sunday. We've definitely run into the issue with multiple festivals, not necessarily just in Frankenmuth, but throughout the state also. With more festivals, there's more opportunity to go to different things, which definitely has hurt Bavarian Festival a little bit over the years. Not as many have attended past, but we're working on getting the younger crowd involved again. The 70s, there was the heyday at that point. It was huge crowds and everything, and we're trying to get the younger generation involved, getting them informed of their German heritage of this town.
Next up, the Auburn Cornfest, scheduled for July 10th to the 14th.
That it was Auburn Fun Days when it started out, and it was basically a lot of the local community members decided that we needed to have some kind of activity here in town, for the summertime, kind of break up the difference between hay baling and beans and then going into the corn later in the season. So they had a little lull there, and they wanted to move to an entertainment type thing and just have something for the local community. And Auburn Fun Days was actually down on 9 Mile, right between, basically right in front of the Auburn Bean and Grain. The fathers of the Chamber of Commerce and the JCs, who worked together for the entire history of the festival, decided to purchase the property on the east side, and it's been there for this, I believe, is about our 30th year on that property. If you say Auburn, people say, well, Auburn, where's that? And you say the Corn Festival. Oh, well, I know where that is. So the Corn Festival has been a huge part of our identity here in the city of Auburn. And the importance is, it's a huge community fundraiser for both the Chamber of Commerce and the JCs. And in recent years, we're trying to expand that out into other clubs in the group, as in the area as well. And it's #1 fundraiser. It allows, like the Chamber of Commerce does their just Santa Fun Festival is one area where they give back to the community, and that's what the Chamber does. And then the JCs have their Easter egg hunt in the spring. These are two very large, very popular events that are funded through the Corn Festival. So, the funds that we get through the Corn Festival, everything's returned back to the community. It's not like, these clubs are hoarding dollars or anything, but, it's a very strong community event, and that's how they finance pretty much all their projects for the rest of the year, is through the Corn Festival. The carnival has been part of the Corn Festival since the beginning. They've always had the rides and so on. And then there's the entertainment tent where we offer, different bands and different types of entertainment. The JCs in the past, and currently we still run a casino type tent. And again, it is all for fundraising. But in the recent years, we've added some events. We've added the mud drags, which was unbelievably popular last year. We were totally unprepared for the mud drags, the turnout that we had. It's obviously an event that the local community really appreciated. So we're going to bring that back. There's always a corn run, a 5K run that happens on Thursday night. This year, another new event that we're bringing in is a religious band on Wednesday night. So we're actually expanding. Our time is normally just the 4 days. Well, this year we're going to actually go from July 10th through July 14th. Fishing Frenzy for the kids on Saturday morning. That's a huge draw. We have all the little kids around the Auburn pond, and there's prizes and different sponsors, and give out fishing poles, and it promotes outdoor activity for the kids, which is a wonderful thing. And of course, the parade on Sunday is it's probably the best attended event of the entire weekend. Yeah, we were seeing a large drop off, and as all these festivals, we're seeing less and less activity. And with our history, we've made some instrumental changes. The Chamber and JCs used to work in two separate entities in different directions, basically, on the same festival. Well, we've grown to where we've added that all under one roof. It's under AIM now, which is Auburn Improvement Management, a joint venture between the Chamber of Commerce and the JCs. And it's really worked well, because now we can better target the use of our dollars for advertising, for publications, for that sort of thing. I would have never ever viewed myself in this position. It was never a goal or anything, but when you get involved in the community and you find out what's important to the community and so on, and yeah, I feel a strong sense of pride in seeing the festival turn around the way it has. And I heard from one of my mentors, one of the previous gentlemen who ran the club, ran the festival for years and years. He said, I really see you're making the changes that were necessary down there. So, to hear that from one of your mentors, that's just an outstanding feeling.
Next up, Midland's River Days, scheduled for July 19th and 20th.
Well, it started in 1985, and it was really built on the fact that the community came to be because of the rivers. The Chippewa and the Tittabawassee flow together where we have the Tridge, the famous Midland landmark. And because of that, they thought, let's celebrate what really caused Midland to come into being. And it originally started with just a riverboat. And they gave riverboat rides over the course of a week, and they did that for 2 years, and then they decided, let's make it more of a festival. So they brought in music and various kinds of children's activities as a part of it, food, of course, as a part of it, the fife and drum corps. So they brought in a number of elements to make it more of a celebration, and it's continued since that time here in Midland.
Like most long-running festivals, they face challenges to keep them going. But Mortenson says the key to success, in part, is to keep it fresh every year, and this year is no exception.
This year is special in particular for us because Midland Area Community Foundation turns 40 this year. It was started in 1973. So with our 40th anniversary, we're calling it 40 and Forward. So we're going to do more of a 70s theme since we started in 1973, so maybe have some 70s tribute bands, do some fun activities around that, and look at what's been accomplished over the last 40 years and where are we heading forward. Well, Midland Area Community Foundation is, us joining together to serve the community, to look at needs, to celebrate what is Midland, to have community gems. And so this is another way to really, in a way, thank the people of Midland and the surrounding region, because we have so many people that attend River Days. So our idea is to really celebrate what makes Midland great, and to do a gift back to the community in the form of, all the various activities. Everything, with the exception of our riverboat rides, are free as part of the festival. So to really give a gift back, fireworks, fun that families can come and enjoy, and of course seniors can come and enjoy as well at River Days Festival. So we have a great River Days committee that's a collaboration of various organizations around our community. They meet on a monthly basis and work on planning River Days. So they're looking for what do we need to do next. And one of the things that we noticed is we were losing our younger people crowd. So a couple years ago, they instituted this mud volleyball tournament, which really for our kind of college age and up into their 20s and 30s, and that really brought that age group down. We also heard from families they wanted more family activities, things that children could really enjoy. So we've set up an area of the park on Saturday where various organizations throughout our community offer different activities for children. We've brought in a children's performer to do concerts. We're actually looking at 2 this year. Our Chippewa Nature Center, Dennis Pulaski, has published a CD of songs that he's written for kids. So we're looking at both a performer we bring in and having some local talent as a part of that. We've got to keep looking at what do we need to do different, what do we need to do new, how can we continue to keep it fresh and exciting while preserving what people really value as a part of it. The fireworks is an element, once that was added, that we have kept since, and people love the fireworks show, and it's actually a fantastic show.
Next up, the Tall Ships celebration in Bay City, which is scheduled for July 11th to the 14th. It was last here 3 years ago, billed as the largest fleet of tall ships to visit anywhere in Michigan this summer. 10 ships total, ranging from the War of 1812 replicas to modern floating classrooms, will be available for boarding and touring. The Great Lakes Bay region's own Dore will be joined by the schooner Hindu from Key West, Florida, to offer sailing excursions throughout the festival as well. Next up, the Pig Gig in Bay City. It's had a great run for 20 years.
We started out pretty small. The first year we probably did, I'm going to say maybe 800 to 1,000 people. And every year it grew a little bit. We expanded a little bit. We had a higher level of entertainment every year. We'd add more activities. And that's pretty much how the event started, just in a conversation. We tried to increase the level of entertainment. We brought in more and more activities. We had 2 stages. Then we would do family shows. We brought in the pig racing. We brought in a dog show. We've had arts and crafts. Over the years, we've tried some crazy things. We've had car shows. We had jet ski races on the river. We had water ski teams. A couple years ago, we called it When Pigs Fly, which was a fundraiser. We had these little plastic rubber piggies, and all of our participating charities would go out and sell these numbered pigs. And then at the event, the Sunday, we put all these piggies into a big plastic bag, flew up in a helicopter, and we had a bullseye in the middle of the festival grounds, dropped all the piggies, and the little piggy that came closest to the bullseye won, I think it was a $2,000 prize we had. We started out primarily as a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club, but as we grew, other charities were coming to me saying, well, what about us? We need help. So we opened it up to more and more nonprofit organizations, and we were at about 20 last year. Along with Labadee, we had a lot of other sponsors that came on board. The Muhlenbeck people, which is now O'Sullivan, Covenant Healthcare, Meyer, a lot of large sponsors stepped on board, and with their sponsorship, the whole network of people, all of the nonprofit organizations and their network, all of the sponsors and their network. So people would come to see people that they knew were going to be there as well. So it's grown a lot.
In fact, the Pig Gig topped the $1 million mark when it comes to making donations to dozens of local charities.
There's always going to be those favorite core activities to your festival. I'm sure, the Corn Festival, they have to have corn. The Potato Festival, they have to have potatoes. The Pig Gig, we had to have barbecue ribs. We have to have pig racing. But we tried to do some other ancillary activities, something fun. Every year when we do our press conference, the question is, what's new this year? And we have to have something new. And if you say, nothing, same old, why are people going to come?
That's something many of the long-running summer festivals have in common. They raise money for many local nonprofit organizations who desperately need the funding.